Hello, welcome to my channel. I'm T with Teresa H Creates, and I decided to take a small, just 1 day, maybe 2 day break from my Alice in Wonderland themed journals to work on some cards. So I have Call Me Crafty Owl's Sheetload of Cards. This is a card template that she puts out every month, and she just asks that you subscribe to her channel, her YouTube channel, and then you will find the instructions on how to print your own sheetload of cards. So this is the April 2024 sketch and supply list. And so I've done this several times before, and just like I said, needed a small break from the Alice in Wonderland stuff. And I literally just kind of pushed it aside. Everything that you cannot see is just jam-packed with Alice in Wonderland stuff. So I didn't want to think about it too much about what I wanted to use on these cards. And so I literally pulled out one of my 12 by 12 storage containers and just grabbed the first set of papers that were on top. And I ended up picking up this Carta collection. And it is, I'm trying to find the name, Rustic Elegance. So it's Rustic Elegance. And I remember picking this up. It was at one of those expos where they have all the vendors there, and Echo Park and Carta were there. And I remember these being on sale. And so I picked it up because I love these hearts. I love hearts. I love this heart paper. And then I wanted this watercolor paper. I didn't, and it says Rustic Elegance. I did not realize that it was a just married Mr. and Mrs. theme, which kind of isn't really my vibe. I don't do a lot of wedding cards or anything. And so, I'm surprised that I got it, that I wasn't paying more attention, but anyhow, we'll make it work. I want to use this. So on the supply list, I am going to need two 12 by 12 pattern papers, and then some solid cardstock, which I'll pick later. Those are two 8.5 by 11 solid cardstocks. And then I know it also asks you to pull the solid cardstock for card bases, but I make my own card bases, and so I have plenty of those already in my stash, so I've pulled those aside. And so out of these two 12 by 12 paper patterns and or pattern papers and the two 8.5 by 11 solid cardstock sheets, it will yield 8 cards. So I'm going to go through here and decide which two I want. I like that wood grain. Okay, I love this paper. I'm going to set it aside because I might use that. No. Oh, I'm liking that. Okay, the stripes. I like that too. That might be too beige, but I like those stripes, so I'm going to set that aside. That's actually really pretty. That coordinates really well together. Let's see what else is in this collection though. Oh, I like this, but there aren't really any grays, so I'm going to put that aside. This may be a little bit too busy considering this piece here, so no, but this is really pretty. Okay, no, I like those, but those are really just nice background pieces. Here are some cut apart, so I wouldn't use those. Oh, but that's pretty. Okay, and I like these hearts a lot. Oh, that's pretty too. Okay, this is getting difficult. I wonder. Look, this is really pretty, isn't it? Okay, maybe. And then here's some more cut aparts. I won't use those. That's okay. Oh, okay. I really like this. And that's just solid black, so that would work. Oh, that's pretty too. No. Okay. Okay. So many choices. This is so hard. Okay. So let's see. I'm liking these two. Yeah, I like these two, but I also like this. And I also like this. Choices. What would be good with this? Maybe something like that. Maybe those. I don't think I mean, these grays could go together, but it's not really in these. This is more of a green in here. And all of my greens, that would be too much. But this is really pretty. Okay. I'm usually really decisive. I pick them out and I'm usually ready to go. So I'm going to think on this for a little bit, and then I'll make my cuts and I'll come back and I'll just surprise you on what I chose. How about that? So let me make my cuts and I'll be right back. All right, I've made my cuts. I've assembled some cards and I may have gone a little overboard. So I was having such a hard time with that paper collection deciding which papers I wanted to use, and I ended up making a ton of cards. So this is a few. I wanted to show some of them that I had actually kind of assembled and had sentiments on and everything. So they were double-sided cards. So I ended up flipping some of them so that the opposite patterns were showing. And then some of them I loved the actual patterns themselves. And so I kind of kept those. But I tried to play around with them, make them all just a little bit unique. This one's All My Love. I really love this turquoise and gray together. With my whole heart for my whole life. Just married, Mr. and Mrs. So I ended up using a few of those wedding theme sentiments. And so I've got a few wedding cards in case some people, some friends, I don't know, decide to get married. I don't have any of that on the horizon that I'm aware of, but you never know. So I did do a mixture of different images or sentiments here, different sizes and styles. So I did some of the ovals, stitched ovals. I did some of the stitched rectangles. I did some of the scallops. And so they're all just a variety. I did some of the larger scallops. And this one was a with some glitter paper I had left. So I did a lot of this with just scraps. More of the stitched rectangle, stitched ovals, rectangles. Let me see, oval, oval, oval. I should have counted these and I did not, but I love the variety. Oh, and then with my heart paper that I absolutely loved, I did hearts. I did a stitched heart and then I did one scallop heart. Aren't those pretty? I should have counted them. I didn't. I might count them in just a, let me count them now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31. And then 32, I'm going to assemble the last one on camera with you. So I did go ahead and print that all, or cut that all down to size, and I'm ready to go. So I dug into my scrap papers for this, and I ended up, for some of the backgrounds here, so I ended up finding scraps that matched. I had some browns, some grays, let me see, some greens, some pinks. I also used one of the background sheets. It was kind of a watercolor background. I used that for the for some of the layering on this. I did ink up all of the edges so that it would kind of bring it together, make it a little cohesive. I don't like the white core, so that's mostly why I do that. And I used frayed burlap on the majority of them, but some of those that had this gray, I ended up bringing out and this was the Distress ink. But this one, I used the Distress Oxide in Hickory Smoke because I don't actually have any of the gray colors in the Distress ink. I don't know why that is. I'll have to correct that because I do like that gray. It is pretty, but this oxide is pretty as well. So I'm inking up those edges. I'm going to get the edges of this little guy. I really think that these turned out so cute. I have a few of them that are already made up, as you saw. And then I have a few, like, what was it, 20-something that I can put in my stash. They're ready to go. They just don't have sentiments on them yet. And I left it that way on purpose because I really wanted to have some cards on hand that I would be able to use for any occasion. And I can really do that with those. I can pull out some ephemera. I can die cut some images. I can stamp using my Misty stamping tool, and I'll still get a really good stamp on these. So just lots and lots of options, and I like the idea of having some nice cards kind of ready to go. Okay, so you're supposed to, special instructions are to layer the colored scrap or cardstock with a pattern cardstock, well, 3x3, and then this is 3¼ by 3¼ and then cut it. And I ended up, instead of taking it to my guillotine or even my paper trimmer, I'm just using my large scissors. I'm kind of guesstimating, and they just slide right through, no problem. So it was easy peasy. I'm not really big on measuring anyway. I kind of eyeball everything. It was pretty obvious that some of them were much smaller or larger than the others, but hey, it gets the job done. I'm not too worried about it. Okay, now this is directional, so I have to make sure I've got the right direction. When I do this, so let me tape it up. And then I am just, again, going to kind of eyeball that positioning. Tape this one up. And eyeballing again. Hopefully my eyeballs are straight and not crooked. Okay. And then I did this with all of my cards. This is totally optional, but it's something that I have to do. I have some card scrap here, and I am going to layer up some scrap underneath this so that when I put this this little die cut on, it's going to lay flat right here instead of dipping where those pieces are, especially since this is pretty, both of this is the Basil cardstock, and then this is, no, it's not, it's the Park Lane Premier cardstock, and then this is the Carta. So they both are real thick, have nice texture to them. So I just really want to make sure that there isn't going to be any dipping. So I'm going to guesstimate that this will be covered. Looks like I'm going to do 2 layers in here, and I did this for all of them. And I'm just taping it on. And then I'm going to make sure that once I place this here, it's not going to peek out the edges anywhere. All right. I'm going to tape this up. And I'll place it down. So all of those cards that I showed you do have some scrap card underneath to help back that up so that it lays flat and it doesn't dip in the center. Okay, and so then I was kind of thinking of a sentiment, and these are those little mason jars, and I always think of using them as a like a little vase for flowers and stuff. And so I have this scalloped flower die. I got it for free from an order at scrapbook.com, and it looks like this. And so I went ahead and used some of that scrap paper that I had to cut and bring out that blue color that was in those. And the one thing I wasn't sure, and I guess you could do it either way, is whether or not you're supposed to glue down this lighter color or if you just line them up and then kind of let them flow free. And I guess it could be done either way. I think I like a lot of texture, so I think I might actually leave mine up and just kind of let it back. So that you can see here, I'm going to use glue because this is a small area, and also because I've got some wiggle room. All right, I'm going to put some here, offset this, and then put this one in the center. Oops. And because I'm just kind of playing around here, I didn't go through the process of inking up any of these edges or anything. And then it had 2 centers, so this scalloped and then just a circle. So I'm going to go ahead and put this guy on. I didn't want to go too bright yellow, so I did kind of a mustard seed. And then just a little bit lighter. Because of that gray in there, gray and yellow look nice together, but I always think it looks better with kind of a deeper yellow, not a kind of a mustard yellow, not really a super bright yellow with this particular color back here. And then let me kind of, okay, let me glue this down and then I'm going to kind of fluff. So I kind of want them to fluff, so I'm not going to glue down the entire, well, you know what? I'm going to glue down the entire bit of this back. Since I don't have them connected, I can still fluff up those others. So just that one single layer. I'm going to glue down the entire one. Okay. And now I can go in and kind of fluff these up so it'll add some dimension. And because I did not glue this down, I'll be able to pull these guys up right here and add some dimension. There we go. How cute is that? That is super cute. I really like it. So the only thing I have left to do, and I'm going to do that off camera, is to take my bits of scrap that I have here and put little pieces on the inside, little banners down across the bottom, and then I would have used up probably all the rest of that scrap that's there. So I ended up going a little overboard with this collection, and I have 32 cards to show for it. It was super quick. It was super easy. This is a great template, and I hope that you take advantage of Crafty Owl's generosity and you grab a copy yourself and you make some cards for your card stash. If you do decide to make these cards and you post it, make sure that you use the hashtag so that everybody is able to pull you up and take a look at those cards. I hope that you like this. Have a wonderful day. Until next time, bye.